Charlie got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in this place, he out cold with a tombstone, grab her the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul Bearer, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. Ted DiBiase got $1 million on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to another episode of Boot to the Face, powered by FullPressCoverage.com. Go there for all your sporting wants and needs, where I am sure they will be abreast of NFL talk this week as the NFL opens week 1. The best time of the year, EJ. Today's the last day until April that the sun will set in Georgia after 8 p.m. Fall is in the air.
Football season. Time is up amongst us. Got some interesting college football. Your Bulldogs beat the piss out of Clemson, which made me happy. Florida State, they looking like a hot mess. I didn't expect that coming. What's going on, Jason Brown? What's up with that?
You know, with the advent of the extended playoffs, you thought, and a fucking regular season doesn't count anymore. You could lose 1 or 2 games and still make the playoffs and win the title. Florida State's out. There's no way these motherfuckers are getting in the playoffs after week 2, which is crazy. Yeah, a lot of good college football, a lot of bad college football. That's the one thing I don't like about college is some of these big schools play these little fucking cupcake schedules, but with the SEC inviting Texas and OU and guys like that in, like, I don't think they're going to have as easy schedules as everybody's. Like, I know Bama and a couple other schools played really easy schedules this past week, but it's going to be a dogfight in the SEC this year.
Yes, it will. It's going to be interesting to see how things unfold during the season, like you said, with the expanded playoffs. We're early. This is the best time of the year. Everybody's team is still in it, unless you're Florida State.
Unless you're Florida State.
Yeah, like you said, NFL's ramping up, and we'll be predicting that later on in the show.
I will predict that the Cowboys will sign Dak Prescott on Thursday before the first game, just so Jerry Jones can steal the fucking headlines, because that's what this old cocksucker does. Is he didn't care about winning, he cares about being in the headlines. So he drags his QB's name through the mud, who's been nothing but a really good quarterback, a great person to be in the head of your franchise, and you treat him like shit throughout this whole thing, talking about, oh, I hadn't seen it yet, probably ain't gonna see it. Well, maybe you need to look in the mirror, because it's been 30 years since your ass as a GM, president, and owner has won the Super Bowl. So if we ain't gonna see it in the past 30 years, maybe we ain't gonna see it.
Yeah, get that man his money. He didn't keep that same energy for Romo. Romo was like his son, didn't he? Say Romo was like my son.
Man.
Wonder why.
He was still talking about Romo winning the Super Bowl during Dak's rookie year, when Dak's 13-3. The whole team done said, fuck Romo, we got Dak now. Jerry Jones is talking about, sure will be good to see Romo come on in there and win in the playoffs. Because, you know, Tony's been real good for us over the past few years. And, yeah, it's like trying to circumcise a mosquito, trying to get Dak and Tony on the same page.
That's a good, pretty... Jerry Jones.
Was it? I thought it was shit.
That works.
Yeah, but FullPressCoverage.com, they'll have all the coverage wall to wall on NFL and college football, and I'm excited, man. I'm going headed to Vegas this weekend to go watch NFL opening weekend.
Another Vegas. I thought you just got back from Vegas.
It's like my my part-time job. I'm start claiming this shit on my taxes, travel, and all. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, I'm gonna start. Yeah. I'm gonna start making money. I'm already making money, but I'm gonna start making more money doing this stuff because there's things you can do to get around paying for the shit yourself if you're actually using it as a job.
Well, there you have it. A little bit of advice from Chris Rucker on how to advance in life.
I don't know if it's advice. I'm just saying, if you find something you like that's financially advantageous to you, fucking open up your own business, and even no matter how little it is, if it's only a couple $1,000s every couple of months, it's better than nothing. And if you can find a way to get tax breaks to do that stuff, like that's how rich people stay rich, Like it seems, all right, I'm gonna say it seems like dirty and wrong to think, oh, I could claim this and I can do that. But if you think about it, man, these rich people do this shit all the time. They got people that find every fucking back door for them, and that's where they save money at. And us, not speaking for you, EJ, but us as middle, somewhat class earners, we don't know all these tax breaks and we don't use them. And I think we need to start taking advantage of them too, because they take advantage of us. Go to the grocery store. We're being fucked.
Hey, true that. Couldn't have said it better myself. But like you said, that's how the rich stay rich. They don't spend their own money, and they find, avenues and ways to get money back, and like you said, tax breaks and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm looking into doing stuff like that, and these Vegas trips might start happening a little more frequently, and they may be a little more financially better for myself. I can tell you about some stuff later, but yeah, it's looking a lot better to go to Vegas a lot more. Not that I spend a lot now. Like I literally just buy the flights and whatever alcohol I consume and money I gamble, but I get free food and free hotel and shit like that. So it ain't a lot, but it's gonna be even better.
That's what's up, man.
But anyway, the whole point to what I was saying was I want to go out to. I've never been at NFL sports book type thing. Like I went to a brunch one time when I was out there and watched the Cowboys and Lions, and it was like you had to spend $50 to sit there at brunch. So they charged you $50 just to come in there, whether you ate and drank that much or not. But I want to go like a sports book. I want to be there for opening weekend. Like the vibe in Vegas is a lot of fun because there's so many people that come in from everywhere, and it's just I've been there right before football season. It's just football jerseys everywhere. So to be there during the opening weekend, like that's gonna be fun. I'll be there with my big beer-bellied people.
The big beer-bellied people.
Yeah.
Who's that consist of?
NFL fans that are over 40.
Okay. That went right over my head, but I got you. Yeah, and it's probably not gonna be as congested. The Raiders are away this weekend, so you don't have to worry about that aspect of it either.
Yeah, and there was something else going on last weekend in Vegas that I missed. So yeah, I think NFL will be king this weekend. Last time I went, it was in the middle of a Morgan Wallen concert weekend, which was
oh boy.
I mean, I'm not mad at like a bunch of hot fucking white women walking around in booty shorts and cowboy boots. So like, it was
that's
congested,
fine and dandy,
but it was
sure like the traffic and shit was, not the most ideal.
I don't really deal with traffic when I'm in Vegas. Like I stay on the strip for a night or two, and then I go to downtown for a night or two, but I don't really venture out to where I have to worry about traffic.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, as far as, like, Ubers and stuff.
Yeah.
I never drive when I'm there. I mean, I had a rental, like, maybe once ever in Vegas, many moons ago, but yeah, it's always a good time. So, like you said, you're going to be there for opening weekend. Hopefully you come up and hit on a lot of those teams.
Yeah, I went one year when a friend of the show, Tata, she was out there hosting a concert series for Sirius XM, and I didn't know this was going on at the time. And we were trying to Uber places, and it was like, why is this shit so expensive? And it turns out because they had a concert series going on, but the fucking thing got canceled because the wind was blowing too hard. So all those people flew to Vegas, like from all parts of the country. They flew into Vegas, paid these fucking highest giraffe pussy hotel fees, and then got these concert tickets that hopefully they got their money back on. And the shit got canceled the day of because the wind was blowing like 60 miles an hour.
Jeez, was this a rock concert, or was it that one that Usher Lovers and Friends one?
No, it was When We Were Young concert a couple years ago.
With the punk bands and stuff.
Yep.
I remember that. I didn't know it got canceled. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So there's a lot of pissed off fucking emo people in the casinos that weekend, just fucking throwing money away and crying. It was a lot of fun to watch, but
so I guess since you going out next weekend or this coming up weekend, you probably didn't do anything for Labor Day weekend, man, right?
I had my kids, so I did that, and we just, we didn't really do anything. We just kind of chilled, got some takeout a couple nights, watched movies. And then we were supposed to go float to Chattahoochee this weekend, but my daughter was actually sick. She was going to go. She got sick this past week at school. So my ex was like, I don't think it's safe for her to go out because she was sick. So my daughter was pissed off about that. So I had to take her home early on Sunday because we were still going to go, me and my girlfriend. We'd already bought the tickets. And took her home, dropped her off, and we're getting geared up to go. And they fucking cancel it because the water's not high enough. It wasn't safe to go float. So that got canceled. And then I went and played golf yesterday with a buddy. And we went out and had our little once a month. Me and my two closest friends that still live here, we'll go to like dinner and have a couple drinks just to kind of catch up. A little friendship maintenance is what I believe it's called. We've been doing that for a few months now, which, if you got friends that are close by, I think that's a good thing to do. Just fucking set a date once a month for y'all just to like, this is when we're going to hang out and catch up. Because life gets busy as a grown-up, man.
It does indeed. That's what's up, man. So you had a pretty chill weekend.
You do anything for Labor Day? You barbecue at all?
Yeah, I went out to D.C. My nephew, or my sister and her husband live out there with their two kids.
You said D.C.?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And my nephew's birthday always falls on Labor Day weekend. It's on the 2nd, so it always falls on that weekend, so they always celebrated that weekend. My parents go up every year for his birthday, and they go up for my nieces too, which is in February, but they go up for his every year Labor Day weekend. I went way back in the day when he was really young a couple times, but life happens. I moved around the country, so I hadn't been there for his birthday, that Labor Day weekend, like 2016. So it's interesting seeing kids grow up, man. He turned 11 and doing middle school stuff, and I'm like, man, when did you grow up so fast? But yeah, went to one of his soccer games out there. Soccer's pretty interesting watching it live, but that's as far as I go. I can't watch it on TV. But
I tell you,
go ahead.
If my son doesn't like sports at all, but parents nowadays, like, football's like the thing. I wouldn't have my kid play football. I have my kid play baseball or soccer, because if you can make it in the MLB, you can play 20 fucking years and get paid like $2 million a year, and you walk away at the end. If you can play soccer professionally, you can make a lot of money, and when your career is over, you still walk upright. The NFL, have you seen these old motherfuckers walking around?
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
So soccer and baseball, even basketball. Basketball's a little harder to get into because it's like the best of the best of the best of the best, and there's only a finite amount of like roster spots. But soccer and baseball, man, there's so many spots to get. I definitely encourage people that have kids that are in the sports to go more towards soccer and baseball. So shout out to your nephew. Hopefully he's kicking ass up there in soccer.
Yeah, they had a little weekend tournament. His team won the whole thing. There was this little black kid on his team. He was cooking everybody. Like I'm like, okay, he was outrunning them, and he was crossing them up with the dribbling. I'm like, oh snap! He scored like 3 or 4 goals in one game.
Damn, by himself?
Yeah, by himself.
Like the little Fresh Prince of Bel-Air of soccer.
Yeah, so, yeah, but I get it. Like what you said, it's less stressful on the body if you play like baseball or soccer. But professional sports in general, all of them are hard to get into.
Yeah.
So,
oh, definitely not easy. But if you got the skills, I would definitely encourage people to send their kids more towards baseball and soccer and even basketball before football. And in football, you know, the most taxing on your body. Look at Dak right now. Look at fucking CeeDee Lamb. Like, these are two of the best of the best of the best. And they're having a fight for contract money. Like, the NFL don't even want to pay you. Meanwhile, you could be guy number 7 on the depth chart in basketball, and you're making $20 million a year.
yep, no salary cap in baseball. I don't know how it's structured in soccer because I'm talking more so overseas because that's where the stardom really is in Premier League and La Liga and Serie. But I don't know if they have a salary cap or not. But yeah, I feel like NFL players get paid pennies compared to other professional sports athletes.
And it's the most popular sport in our fucking country, which is crazy.
Yeah, I guess when you expand it globally, it's more money to get.
But, I mean, the NFL has the most... Like, the Dallas Cowboys are the most valuable franchise in the world. In front of all the soccer teams and shit, right? So it's like, if you're making that much money, how are the players not getting paid what these guys are getting paid? Like, you shouldn't be nickel and diming the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys over a couple $1 million a year when you're the most valuable franchise. I get salary cap doesn't take that into account, but there's something off about the NFL and how they pay players, especially for what football players put their bodies through.
Yeah, maybe it's a numbers game because out of all the sports, they got the most people on a team, 52. So maybe that plays a factor as well.
Oh, that definitely plays a factor. But it's also definitely an owner's thing where they're stingy. They make all these money from advertisers and TV deals and all that shit, merch and everything, and they're like, oh, the salary cap's only $240 million a year. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, you think the Players Association would go in and try to put like a soft cap on there or get rid of the cap. I wonder why there's such a firm stance on keeping the salary cap.
You can keep the salary cap, just fucking extend it a little bit. Like baseball has a salary cap, but then they got like the luxury tax and or is that the NBA?
NBA.
Yeah, they got the luxury tax and all that shit, and it's like, because I mean, if there was no salary cap, the Cowboys would win every year because they just pay all the players.
Yeah, so maybe parity.
They definitely wanted parity.
I mean, I guess it'd be different with football and baseball. There's no salary cap, and Yankees got the most money, and they hadn't won since 2009. So.
No, you got the Dodgers. They got a lot of money. Houston's got a lot of money. They've won a few times, cheating and everything. The Braves got a little bit of money, and they won recently. But yeah, you'd think the Yankees would have won more by now, but sometimes it's not just about paying players. It's about, you know, who gets hot in baseball's more of a individual sport than it is. Football's a team sport. Like, you need all 11 guys on every play to do what they're supposed to do in order for a play to work in football. In baseball, you could just have one motherfucker hit the ball out of the park, and the other guys that are playing defense, like, there's nothing they can do about it.
Well, at the end of the day, baseball comes down to pitching.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, well, we keep seeing that these players in the NFL are breaking, you know, the all-time records on getting paid. Every time I hear a player, they're getting paid the most in history. And I guess if you increase it by $1, that player is now the most paid. So maybe we'll keep seeing that get pushed, and maybe these players will start getting more money, for, like you said, for what they put their bodies through.
Yeah. Let's get into some wrestling, EJ. We were just talking about this before the show started. Feels like we've been doing prediction and reaction shows for like a month now. And that's what this show is, again. A reaction to Bash in Berlin, NXT TakeOver. TNA had a pay-per-view this past weekend, I believe on Friday. And now we're predicting AEW All Out and NFL opening weekend. So, pretty easy content.
I
But,
know, right?
yeah, this will be the last week, thankfully, of prediction shows for a minute.
Yeah, for a little bit. And then we got to get into, Bad Blood is next? I know you'll be out of town for that. And then you got Wrestle Dream maybe next month for them. So, yeah, with a little bit of breather, and then we get right back into it because, wrestling has no off season.
Let's jump into Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week, EJ.
My Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week, this guy always looks pretty sleek. He looks like a James Bond villain with all the suits and stuff that he wears.
Wait.
Can
I guess?
Yeah.
A James Bond villain. I got two guesses. It's either Cesaro or... Fuck, I can't think of my guy's name that helps out Gunther.
He looks like one too. Ludwig Kaiser.
Ludwig Kaiser. Those are my two guesses. Go ahead.
I mean, you were close. I was just going with the guy himself, Gunther.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he had the all black on, black loafers, no socks, black suit jacket, and regular black t-shirt on. Mocking Sami Zayn. What an asshole that guy is.
Who's Sami Zayn? Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, that's my Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week, the Ring General, Gunther.
I want to give an honorable mention because I feel that this is a person that people think I don't like, and they're right. I thought Rhea Ripley looked really good this week.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, I thought the black pants, the black shirt, like the boots she was wearing, I thought everything looked good on her. But then Bianca Belair came out. And that was it. That's my Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week. Bianca, her and Jade came out and sat ringside during the women's tag title qualifier match. But Bianca just...
Now, not Io Sky, Kairi Sane, was that hard? Was she bleeding?
Oh yeah, she was busted the fuck open. She got a gash over her eyebrow. She hit the announce table.
Yeah, I guess that was hard weight. Like, what the hell?
It was definitely the hard way. She got fucked up. If you go back and watch, she jumped off the top rope to go out, and I don't know if she missed her jump or Bianca didn't catch her correctly or what, but she hit the announce table literally face first and busted her fucking eyebrow open.
Eesh. I wonder if she had to get stitches.
Oh, she definitely had to get stitches. That was a gash. I saw it on social media. That was a gash over her eyebrow.
Hey, they need to be more careful.
Yeah. It ain't ballet, as they say. But I got Bianca Belair as my Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week, and you picked Gunther.
Yes, sir.
And now we move on to power rankings, which is going to be a little difficult, but there's a lot of wrestling going on this week.
Yeah, you got the PLEs, and then you got the fall off all in. So, like, I was conflicted on power rankings for this week, but I was able to get it done.
I feel like PLEs always take they take control over regular TV shows. So all mine are going to be PLE / pay-per-view winners and losers.
Oh. I have all except one. Nope, I got two that were on PLE, so it's going to be interesting. I guess I'll let you kick it off.
Number 5, your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. They win by, as you like to say, annihilation. Versus the, what are they called? Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. They got a team name.
They do. I can't remember it. Like the Unholy Union or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But shout out to Isla Dawn.
I know you're an Isla Dawn fan. She's cool.
That's a looker.
She's cool. So let me get I got honorable mentions. I don't do this often, but I had to because I couldn't fit everybody on Power Rankings. So Carmelo Hayes getting in that second win over Andrade on SmackDown. That was a really good match.
About tied up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tied up 2-2. So
they're doing the best of 7 series without even fucking telling us about it.
I think they're doing it like a covert best of 7. They don't want to announce it. It's just by the time you know it, they'll have 7 matches. But yeah, that was a really good match on SmackDown in front of the Berlin crowd. And I also have Hangman Page, as honorable mention. Really, really fucking good match with Ishii on Dynamite. I feel like that flew on the rail. And I got Kyle Fletcher as an honorable mention. Him and Ishii had a really like low-key banger on Collision. If you didn't get to watch that, I highly recommend it. Those are honorable mentions, but let me get into the actual power rankings. Number 5, one of Rucker's buddies. I got Zach Wentz at number 5, the new X Division champion. Double back and got a win over Wes Lee on NXT Heatwave, and he's the significant other, one of Rucker's favorites, Gigi Dolan.
Whew, that boy. Yeah, isn't it the video games where you get like a plus 13 or something like that on your overall rank? He gets like a plus 50 for being with Gigi Dolan because, buddy, she posted a picture on Instagram this past week. Whew. Didn't he retain the X Division Championship also Friday night?
He won it on that. That's the only thing I caught up with every bit of wrestling except for Emergence, but he won it there because he came out on Heatwave.
No, I thought he won it. So
he won it at Emergence.
He won it Friday before last, and then he came out on Heatwave, and then they had a pay-per-view this past Friday, I thought.
Nah, he won it at that Friday pay-per-view and came out on a Heatwave.
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm completely botching when Heatwave was. For some reason, I'm thinking Heatwave was Tuesday. You're right.
No, it was Sunday.
So he won it Friday, and then Sunday came out. So yeah, he fucking killing it. Good for him.
I still gotta watch Emergence. That's the only thing I didn't get to catch up with. Caught up with everything else, being out of town, but you know. Shit happens. My number 4 is your number 1 contender for your TBS championship, Hikaru Shida. Hikaru. Winning that 4-way dance in a really good match on Collision, beating Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb, and our girl, Queen Aminata.
That's, that's somebody that's... as soon as she starts putting on street clothes, she's going to be in the running for street clothes wrestler of the week. That's I'm going to leave it there.
You got at number 4.
My number 4 would be still your NXT Women's Champion with a big win over Jada Parker at NXT Heatwave, when I definitely did not think she was winning. I don't know why I didn't think that, but Roxanne Perez.
Wait, hold. You said you didn't think Roxanne was going to win?
No, I thought Jada was going to win the title.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. I know I think we talked about it last week. I know she's not ready, but she's got a look, she's got a presence, she's good enough in the ring to be champion. Like, they put the fucking belt on Mandy Rose, you know? Why not put it on Jada Parker?
I think she'd be perfect. I think we even said this last week. She'd be perfect on getting the North American Championship off Kalani. So
Kalani, honorable mention. She did really well versus the Sleepy Time
Wendy
girl.
Wendy Chu.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another reason why I knew Jada was gonna win, they tease it, but when they tease it, we're doing the show. But yeah, some incoming people, new blood coming in NXT, new old blood because they're veterans. And you got Julia, so I knew they would want to get that in, her and Roxanne in for, I'm sure Roxanne is on the, edge of going to the main roster soon. So, but they got to run those with her and Stephanie Vaquer and whatnot. So, yeah.
Stephanie Vaquer, also a very good Instagram account to follow if you like wrestling.
There you go.
My number 3, your new NXT Tag Team Champions. Axiom, is that their name?
Yeah.
Defeated Chase U, and then Rich Holland decided to fucking go Rich Holland and turn on everybody.
Axiom and Nathan Frazier.
I actually wanted Thea to join Rich Holland and her end up being like the force behind him turning, but she just kind of cowered down. And
no, because she did her heel turn. I don't like you flip-flopping back and forth so often. She just had her heel turn with what's the girl from Toxic Attraction? I always forget her name.
Not Jada. Oh fuck, what was her name? Gigi Dolan and
I can't even remember. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. The one I don't like.
That's why I'm not a fan of her either. That's why I forgot her name.
Motherfucker.
But,
don't tell me. I see you Googling. Don't tell me. I'm going to think of it myself.
All right. Well, I know what it is, but you got to keep moving. Either way, she just was with her. Sure, you don't want me to tell you?
No.
He's in there spinning your
I'm
wheels.
literally like, you can see on my face, I'm looking out into my...
I'll give you a hint, though. 2 letters. It's 2 letters, the first and last name.
Everybody's got 2 letters for the first and last name.
Like with the same letter.
Oh, gotcha. What's it start with?
Well, that'll give it away. J.
It doesn't, because I was thinking J. I don't remember. I don't know her name. Go ahead.
It's JC Jane.
Yeah, okay. Duh.
Either way, yeah, she was just heel with her, so I like her being like the scrappy baby face. Do that until she gets some type of, maybe that she could get the NXT North American Championship. But I don't know. Rich Holland, I know he didn't mean to hurt Big E, but like he's just like, I'm not a fan. Like, he's not good in the ring. He's serviceable, I guess.
I know this has nothing to do with power rankings, but I actually like the trifecta of JC Jane. It's not Izzy Dane, is it? That's winner.
Nah, it's Fallon Henley, but what's the new girl?
Yeah, there's a new chick that's like, I'm a rookie and I'm taking advice from. I don't know. I like their little vignettes they're doing, and I'm a big Fallon Henley fan, so I like the triple threat they got going on.
Like Jasmine Nix.
Yeah, that might be who it is.
Yeah, I feel like it's like Toxic Attraction diet. They're called Fatal Attraction. It's kind of close.
No, it's not Fatal Attraction. It's something else.
Fatal Influence.
Yeah, it's got something to do with influencing, which...
Yeah, that was a TNA group.
Yeah.
Just mixing stuff up and see what sticks to the wall. But that was your number 3 was Axiom and Nathan.
Yep.
My number 3 is still the WWE Women's Championship. She got a win on SmackDown in Berlin against Mi Chen. Nia Jax in a street fight.
Mm.
Bunch of chaos. It was, bunch of organized chaos. So, and Tiffy Time, your girl, she teased the cash in, but it got, I don't know what, she got mixed up, and Nia saw what she's gonna do, and she acted like she wasn't. So they're teasing this. So we'll see what happens. My number 2, the guy who was on my Streakos rest of the week, I got Gunther retaining the World Heavyweight Championship in Berlin against Randy Orton. Very solid match. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into it once we give our thoughts on the Bash in Berlin. So that's my number 2.
My number 2 is still your TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Nick Nemeth, who won a Iron Man match against Josh Alexander. I did a lot of fast forwarding through this match, but I did see, a lot of the good stuff. And an Iron Man match is just, I'm not a fan. I think we've talked about it before. If you tell me ahead of time this match is going to be an hour long, I'm not interested in it. But if there's an hour long TV time for it and it goes to a time limit draw, about 40 minutes into it, I'm like, these motherfuckers, they got me. Like MJF and Will Ospreay a couple weeks ago. But if you tell me right off the bat this is gonna be an hour long, like I'm not a fan. But this was a good match. This was good. Nick Nemeth, TNA World Heavyweight Champion, hadn't been a world champion in over 10 years. I think he's doing well. You had the JBL bullshit at the end of it. So yeah, number 2, Nick Nemeth. Number 1, your number 2, the Ring General, Gunther. And people are going to say, Rucker, how's Cody not on your top 5 list when he beat Kevin Owens? Cody was a curtain jerker. The Universal Championship hasn't been an opening match championship in over 5 years because Roman Reigns had the title. Cody gets the title 4 months later. It's opening a pay-per-view in Berlin. You can't even main event in Berlin? I don't give a fuck whose hometown it quote-unquote is. If Roman Reigns is the champion, Gunther's not in the main event.
I guess that's a not so hot take because your thoughts on Cody. But yeah, I guess we'll get into that more. So I give that was your number 1, right? My number 1 is your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Bianca and Jade, are my number 1 on the power rankings, beating Isla Dawn and what's her name?
Alba Fire.
Alba Fire. I was going to say Kaylee Ray, but she's Alba Fire now. So yeah, I kind of like how they broke up their reigns, because if they were just beating women and they never lost it, we'd probably be tired with them by now. But they broke it up, so maybe this is a nice refresher, and maybe they'll have some interesting stories to tell and elevate these women's tag team titles. But that's my number 1.
And that was your boot to the face power rankings for opening weekend of NFL season. Let's talk some Bash in Berlin. We don't have to go over the whole card, but give me your overall grading of the card and what you thought were the important things coming out of it.
I mean, I give it a B. I mean, it's one of those, and if it wasn't for the crowd, I'd probably give it a B minus. It was one of those cards like they're known to do overseas. You can predict most of the card, not like a whole lot going on, but it's just a PLE that bridges the next, pay-per-view, and it gets the job done. And then they have really hot crowds when you go over there overseas, and really solid card. Like I said, I'll give it a B.
I think we're starting to notice that these overseas pay-per-views, as cool as they are with the crowd and stuff like that, nothing ever happens on them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's fun to have a midday pay per view. Um, start at 1 o'clock, I believe. It's fun to watch that and kind of sit around and chill while you got the Blackstone Grill going and the Bloody Mary in hand. But at the end of the day, the card's over with. And you're like, nothing really happened besides the women winning the tag titles. And I wonder if they're going to start running into a problem where when they do these overseas pay per views and these lower tier pay per views, that people kind of know, I don't need to watch this. This is throwaway.
I mean, but even if that happens, it's no like metric that we'll see that people aren't watching it because it's on the Peacock network. It's not like it's on USA or you're not selling pay-per-views like the old school model like AEW still doing. So I guess there's no way we can really gauge that, you know? So like,
Yeah.
how do you think it would become a problem since there's no metric with that?
I mean, the people overseas will still go to it, so as long as the
Yeah.
gate's high. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I don't know. I guess when it comes to coverage and people tweeting and talking about it, maybe the social media engagement will go down a little bit on it. Because, I mean, I've noticed it for a couple ones now in a row, but this one was like, there was nothing that happened on this one where I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah. And you gotta, take the good with the kind of bad when I guess when it comes to this whole Triple H regime because people shat on Vince for being all over the place ripping up scripts and from what I hear Triple H has this mapped out a year in advance, so he's just playing it how it plays out. And but like you said, surprises kind of suffer for that because like if I know what's gonna happen, and why should I even tune into like the in between PLE? So you're getting competent storytelling, everything makes sense, but the shock and the surprise element is kind of taken away, which is a little bit disappointing at times. But
Yeah.
I guess you'd rather take that than just nonsensical storytelling and all over the place.
It's to the point now where if it's not WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and even Survivor Series, like, it's missable.
Yeah. I didn't have anything to rebut that. But like you said, and like we've said it before, if you're trying to imitate combat sports, not all title reigns have to be 6 months to a year. It's good. It's okay to, have a short title reign here and there. And from what I remember, the only time that's happened really is with Bianca and Jade during this whole Triple H era. Everything else is like they're gonna retain. So I could either tune in and skip around. I don't have to watch the whole thing, or I could even skip this one. So I don't know. I'd like to see, a few surprises here and there. You don't have to hot potato it, but
Yeah.
mix it up a little bit.
Well, EJ, we got All Out coming up, and we got NFL opening weekend coming up.
We do. Action-packed weekend.
Let's go ahead and predict AEW All Out taking place in Chicago, the Now Arena. I've been to one of these and All In, and let me tell you, if AEW stays in Chicago for All Out weekend and you haven't been yet, I suggest you. Chicago's not an expensive town to go to. There's a lot of other shit to do around Chicago. You gotta stay at the south side though. But I would encourage you to get to Chicago for AEW All Out. It is a fun time. Like I said, there's other stuff to do in Chicago for that weekend. The weather's not terrible. The place they stay in Schaumburg, well, at least what they did for All In and All Out that I went to, we stayed in Schaumburg, and it was a good area, good hotel. They had StarCast both times I was there. But All Out's a lot of fun to go to. Chicago's a good wrestling town to go to. So if you haven't been yet, I encourage you to go. But All Out is this weekend, taking place from the Now Arena in Chicago, and we will predict winners and losers right now.
Hey, and didn't even mention yet. This is your favorite pocket that you like AEW being. They're back on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I can get up. I'll be in Vegas, like I said, this weekend. I can wake up fucking Sunday morning before NFL football starts, and I go get on the fucking elliptical and watch All Out while I'm there. I ain't gonna be on elliptical for 3 hours now. I don't want to talk no shit. Like, that's a lie. But
so yeah, back on Saturdays, and from where we stand at right now, there's only 6 matches on there. Now we know that's not how it's gonna end at the end of the week. It's probably gonna be 3 or 4 more matches thrown on here. If you go only 9 matches on All Out, I feel like that's a win, because we've seen AEW with like 12 to 15 matches on some of these cards. So
real
I'm sure
quick,
they're gonna, yeah.
I don't think he has a match. What is the deal with Jon Moxley right now? Is he not in the BCC anymore? Did he just start his own fucking faction?
Yeah, with Marina Shafir. I probably botched her name, but not Kyle Riley, Roddy Strong's wife. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's being real cryptic. I mean, I want to see how it plays out because I'm curious, but I don't. This is weird. I don't understand what's going on. But I don't think he's with the BCC like you said anymore. Pac kind of just stole his place.
Yeah, like, shouldn't they let us know what the fuck's going on? Like, he's just not with the BCC anymore. He just came out and started his own faction. Meanwhile, the BCC has the Triple Threat Championships and the world title. He's the only one without the world title, which is why I thought he'd be the one to challenge Bryan at the end. But he just comes out, shaved head, starts his own fucking group without even leaving the BCC.
Speaking in cryptic talk and soliloquy, and let's see where they go with this. But I think, like you said, I think it's gonna circle back around that him getting Bryan Danielson. So let's see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, like I said, it's only 6 matches announced on this. And first up, got Will Ospreay, your international championship, versus Pac for the international championship.
Oh, I got Ospreay. This is gonna be a banger, though.
Yeah, and we always talk about how AEW does a lot of stops and starts for a lot of these wrestlers, but Pac just had bad luck because it's always been visa issues and stuff, and then maybe injuries. But it seems like he's healthy now, and he's got all that squared away, and he's been featured a lot more. So,
and he's a bastard.
Yeah, the bastard. Yeah, this is gonna be a banger, like you said. Dave Meltzer's gonna have his lotion on hand after this one. So I got Will Ospreay too. Like you said, this is only 2 weeks in between their big pay-per-view, so I think only match that's maybe unpredictable we'll get into a little bit, but I mean, I guess this next one too. I'm speaking before I even look at it. So this next match, you got Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander with Stokely Hathaway, a Chicago street fight for the CMLL World's Women Championship.
I feel like Statlander needs a win versus Nightingale for all this to like tie together.
Mm-hmm.
But CMLL is a different company. Like, they don't give a fuck about AEW storylines. Like, they put the belt on Nightingale for a reason. Also, shout out to Willow Nightingale.
Yes, sir.
I saw something on Twitter. It was like 2 years ago. Statlander wrestled Jamie Hayter and Rebel in a handicap match, and I thought, holy shit, they were doing Jamie Hayter so wrong back in the day. They had her losing a match where it was 2-on-1 to Chris Statlander.
Damn, I didn't realize they did that.
Yeah.
What happened to Rebel? She's kind of just faded away. I thought she was
If
funny.
you follow her on Instagram, she's doing well.
And there you have it.
Former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, Rebel.
Yeah, she is. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
Um,
First time I ever met her in real life, I was with my ex, and she comes up and gives me a hug because I had a Cowboys hat on. And she's like, who the fuck was that? I was like, it's Rebel. Who the fuck is Rebel? I'm like, she's a wrestler.
What is it? Reba, not Rebel.
Reba.
Or was it Rebel, not Reba. Yeah, but who you got for this match?
I'm going to go with Nightingale just because I like her more.
I feel like they might 50-50 book this one just because Nightingale got to win it all in and she got to choose a stipulation. I think Stokely may have something up his sleeve. So I'll be the contrarian in this one. I'll go with Chris Statlander. Next up, this is a grudge match to say the least. We have Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana versus Hangman Adam Page. This time it's going to be in a steel cage.
Such a good promo this past week.
Yeah. Swerve is back on his creepy shit. He's stalking him again, watching his pregnant wife outside the house.
I feel like they both put their mission statements out there, though, and they both got their shit in. And then Swerve kind of got him at the end, like, you're not fucking ready. Like, you're obsessed with me. I've won the world title. You're just being a little fucking dork. And I'm going to beat your ass come steel cage. And Hangman was like, shit, this motherfucker might be right.
With that being said, who you have?
I got Swerve.
Man, I want to pick Swerve so bad. But I would love if he beat him 4 times, but I feel like Hangman's got to win at some point.
Hangman has a point, though, that every match Swerve has won, it's been some bullshit.
Man. I guess I got to go with Hangman.
Technically, it's only 3 matches that Swerve won because one was unsanctioned.
Which one was that? When he drank his blood?
I think so. I think that was the one that was unsanctioned. Ugh. You just made me almost throw up a little bit when you said that.
That's gross. But I got Hangman, so.
Damn, DJ's picking Hangman. Upset special.
Is it though? They both former world champions. It won't be that big of an upset.
Yeah, but Swerve's like top of the card right now. Hangman's like in and out.
Yeah. And like you said, maybe it's going to be a plot twist. Like you said, it's always been some bullshit at Swerve won. Maybe some bullshit at Adam Hangman Page wins this time. So I'm excited for that one. Next up, probably have the same pick for this one, but MJF versus Daniel Garcia in a singles match.
I don't think we will. I got Daniel Garcia.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That was a YouTube special if you didn't see it. Sucks to be you.
According to the reports, I think his contract is up in October. So I guess it would maybe entice him.
They said his contract was up when he was off TV like a couple months ago.
Well, now they're saying it's October. So
they told me he was going to show up on NXT Heatwave.
I know, right? According to the Twitter sleuths and whatnot, but yeah, I don't think MJF loses again. And for those who can't see, Rucker is still doing the Garcia dance. Yeah, I got MJF.
I saw Mina Shirakawa do that dance, and she does it way better than Daniel Garcia does.
Really? Well,
yeah, buddy.
Now I gotta do my homework.
Yeah, that's
my research on that one. Next up, Mercedes Money with Camille versus Hikaru, as Rucker like to say. Now he's doing the money dance. Mercedes Money Dance.
CEO, CEO, CEO.
Karushita for the AEW TBS Championship.
I got Mercedes. This is gonna be This might steal the show though. For everything that Britt versus Mercedes was not, Mercedes versus Hikaru will fucking slap.
Because both of them can go. I would start the show off with this, to be honest. You know, Ospreay and Pac are gonna deliver, so you can stick that in the middle of the show.
That's a great fucking take right there, EJ. Start the show off with this. 2 women fucking out there killing it. Get the crowd crazy.
Yeah. So
you hear that, Tony?
How, yeah. Give us a paycheck. We know how to.
That's EJ. That's all EJ right there. Ain't no us. EJ came up with that shit.
Yeah, so we both got Mercedes in this one. And the main event. Like, he's still doing the money dance, but
it's contagious, man. Me and Okada, we can't stop doing it.
And I'll say, out of all the matches, this one I'm least excited for. As much as I love how Danielson won the title, but I just don't like his opponent. We got Bryan Danielson, your champion, versus the TNT champion, the scapegoat, Jack Perry. Just kind of came out of nowhere. I feel like Jack Perry, his heat is not like genuine heat. He's still riding off the coattail of somebody's not in your company. It seems like it came out of nowhere. Like you said, I think you might have mentioned earlier, you thought it might have been somebody else that got the spot, not Christian. Maybe I'm just imagining you said that, or maybe I heard something listening.
They've got so many people already with a world title shot lined up, because you still got Darby and you got Christian. But if they wanted to make a heel right now, Jack Perry would win this fucking match. Because you got the Jack Perry Darby Allin feud already built in. Darby Allin set this motherfucker on fire. Jack Perry has beat Darby Allin. You get Jack Perry to retire Bryan Danielson and then go on to beat Darby Allin in a world title match. And then you have the whole tie-in with Christian, who was with Luchasaurus and Jack Perry and got Luchasaurus to turn. There could be so much shit for this. They're not going to do it, though. Bryan's going to win.
Yeah, you made a good point. And Danielson, he's crazy enough to like swerve everybody like that and do that. Jungle Boy Jack Perry is just not credible enough. And I know it's 2024. It's not a whole lot of airport tests, but the kid's a $140 soaking wet. Come on. But then again,
I love you said the airport test. That's good.
Yeah,
if
like
people that don't know, go ahead.
If you were to walk up on you in the airport with Jack Perry, you would be like, "What is this little kid doing?"
A little twerk.
Give him a noogie.
Yeah,
give him a noogie.
if it's him and you going to the bar for a drink, you like push him out of the way. Get your little ass out of here.
Yeah, but with that being said,
unless he's with Anna Jay, then it's like
they're still together.
I don't know, but
what's he doing that we don't know about behind the scenes? But
I digress. Work.
Apparently,
Jackhammer Jack Perry.
That should be his new nickname. Fuck the scapegoat. Oh man, but now that I was thinking about it though, because Darby Allin doesn't pass the airport test either. But for some reason, his character, if he would have won the world title, I'd be behind that a lot more than if Jack Perry won it. Just because He got the Sting rub, and he's like Jeff Hardy. I don't see either one of them being a champion anytime soon, and definitely not this week.
I disagree. I believe Jack Perry's a champion way more than I would Darby Allin, but different strokes,
Why?
different folks. I don't know. It's just something about Darby's just not world champion material. Like, okay, you can ride a skateboard and get thrown down the steps. Like, at least Jack Perry has an offense. Darby Allin just gets his ass kicked all the time, and he comes back from it.
Well, you weren't a big Jeff Hardy fan either, so I think they're in the same vein. And Jeff Hardy was a world champion.
Yeah, I was more of a Matt Hardy fan. More Mac Jackson, more Matt Hardy, more Jey Uso, more Devon Dudley, more Hawk at a Hawk and Animal, more Ron Simmons at a Ron and Butch Reed, more Rick at a Rick and Scott Steiner. Like, you know, you always have your favorites when it comes to people like that.
Yeah. So there you have it. That's our all-out preview.
Damn, EJ, we're flying through this. All we got is NFL left, and we're ready to go. NFL, EJ.
It's back.
We are
Everybody's
lit.
waiting
We
for
are
it.
here. It is NFL opening weekend. And we got all the games coming up right now. Starting Thursday night in Kansas City, Missouri, home of Chris Rucker. And your two-time defending NFL Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs, taking on the Ravens of Baltimore. EJ, who you got?
I feel like week one is the hardest week to pick because everybody is on an even playing field, so to speak, as far as records. So we don't know how these teams are going to look. But I think Arrowhead's going to be rocking. I'm not picking against the defending champs, even though, Lamar Jackson's going to be there to try to spoil the party. He's got some, things to prove this season. But I still got Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs winning this one.
Vegas has Kansas City at a 2.5-point favorite, but you get 3 points for being at home. So technically, they have Baltimore as the favorite.
Well, I guess it would be more of a push, right? You said a 2.5. You said,
Yep.
or 3.
Yep, it's basically a push. I'm gonna take Kansas City also. Just they hang the banner, they get the rings, the whole nine. I'll take Kansas City in this one. Friday night, September 6th, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. The Green Bay Packers travel to Philadelphia to take on those goddamn Philadelphia Eagles.
Two teams that Rucker does not like, so it's going to be interesting to see who he picks.
I'm going to be cheering for the Green Bay Packers.
And my girl is a Green Bay fan.
Is she really?
She's from Wisconsin. Green Bay.
I didn't know that.
Green Bay Packers and Badgers fan. But
I've only met your lady once, and she was
that?
very cool when I did meet her in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
But the fact that she likes the Packers, just like...
I mean, it could be worse. It could be the Eagles. So I guess
or
you
the
got to
Steelers, yeah.
take the good with the bad, I guess. With that being said, I kind of want to be an asshole and pick against the Packers, but I don't like the Eagles either. So I'm picking Green Bay as well. We're both picking Green Bay on this one.
Be honest, EJ. It's more like, just in case she listens to this and I still want some this weekend, I'm going to pick the Packers.
That too.
I'm going to pick the
You said
Packers
it.
for you also. Next game up, the Pittsburgh Steelers are here in Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Falcons at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Falcons are being picked by a lot of people to win their division this year. They got Kirk Cousins, Bijan Robinson's second year. Maybe they have an offensive coordinator that'll actually use Kyle Pitts along with Kirk Cousins. Falcons are predicted to win their division this year. So the Steelers got a QB controversy. They've selected Russell Wilson, but Justin Fields is right there. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. And I actually think the Steelers probably will go to the playoffs this year. I hate saying that. Who you got, EJ? Pittsburgh and Atlanta.
I think Kirk Cousins is going to have a chip on his shoulder with them drafting Michael Penix Jr. I don't know, man. I've been a Russ fan for his career, but I don't know. Preseason, he didn't light the world on fire. It's on the road. It's hard to win on the road, so I think I'm going to go with the Falcons. I know your brother be happy about that. Michael Rucker will be happy about that.
My brother loves the Falcons.
Yeah.
My stepfather, big Steelers fan.
Wow.
I'm going to go with Ira Rayford's team and pick the Pittsburgh Steelers to beat the Atlanta Falcons week 1.
Alrighty. It's the first, but we have different picks, so now it really starts.
Arizona Cardinals travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
I don't even know what that phrase really means. They circle the wagon.
I don't either. Chris Berman used to say that shit all the time.
Whoop.
That's something else he used to say all the time.
I know. For the national treasure, Chris Berman is.
Yeah, he
I got
really
the
was.
Buffalo Bills.
Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray. They could be tag team of the year up there with FTR.
Man, that's so crazy to think about. Even though it's been a while since Marvin Harrison played, but that just doesn't seem that long ago when him and Peyton were tearing it up, and now his son.
Why? I mean, he started shooting at people. Like he's had it's been a thing in between when he actually was like killing it and now. But yeah, it's weird to see all these juniors coming in from NFL players of, when we were younger, and now they're in there. Like Marvin Harrison Jr., he might be the best wide receiver in the NFL in the next 10 years. And we watched his dad fucking kill it in the NFL.
Yeah. It's one thing though when you were like a kid and you saw the dad, but we were young adults, but we were still adults when Harrison was in the league. So that's the trippy thing about it.
98, I was 16. And he played 98 through maybe 2008?
Yeah, like through 2008. I was thinking about like those later years when they finally won the Super Bowl. That was 06. That was freshman in college.
Yeah, so I mean, that's 16 through 26 for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the Cardinals though.
Okay.
I'm not a Josh Allen guy, man. I think he sucks, honestly.
I'm not either, but
they lost Stephon Diggs.
He usually gets those wins during the regular season. Playoffs is a different story. Like, okay.
I think a healthy Kyler Murray being able to run around and do crazy shit and having Marvin Harrison Jr. added to the squad. I think the Cardinals might win 7-8 games this year that people don't think they'll. I think people were thinking they might be a 3-win team. I think the Cardinals might win about 7-8 games.
Okay. Bold prediction.
Nashville, the Tennessee Titans travel to Chicago. Midway, the monsters of the Midway. Soldier Field. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give me the Chicago Bears to start out 1-0.
I'm also taking the Bears. I don't even know who the hell is Tennessee's quarterback.
It's still, what's his name?
It's still Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, Tannehill.
He just keeps on skating by and taking their money.
The Patriots of New England travel to Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm sorry.
Before we get to that, Chicago rookie quarterback Caleb Williams, like his preseason stuff, that kid, he's like got a little that type of quarterback, like the improv.
He had 5 or 6 really good plays in the preseason, but he really wasn't that good in the preseason.
I don't know. We'll see.
We will. We will. I'm cheering for him. I like him. You know, I know he's a little crybaby bitch, but he's light skinned, so I have no choice but to cheer for him. The New England Patriots travel to Cincinnati, Ohio to take on the Bengals. We got a healthy Joe Burrow, but Jamar Chase still in the holdout as of right now.
Like you said Dak probably Thursday. Will probably iron out Chase Thursday or so too.
Yeah, but no preseason, no training camp, no anything. You think he just walk in on Thursday and go kill it on Sunday?
Yeah, they train. You know, even if they're not training, you know, they always stay in shape.
Well, I got the Patriots in an upset.
Who's it? Their rookie quarterback was Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
Kid from North Carolina. Wasn't a fan. I think.
That's because you're a South Carolina fan. You're a hater.
That's not like a big rivalry. It's not like a real rivalry.
I think it is.
We barely play them. Play it once like every 6 years or so.
It's not about playing them though. It's about like you're South Carolina. He's a North Carolina guy, and you're like, fuck that guy.
Nah. As far as football, it's not rivalry. But yeah, I don't know. I think New England, the days of them being dominant are over. It's just gonna keep spiraling. So I got the Bengals in this one. Rucker has an upset though.
The Texans of Houston travel to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. We haven't talked about this, EJ, but at the end of the show, we're going to do division winners and Super Bowl picks. I have the Texans in the Super Bowl this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Bold prediction.
So the Texans beat the Colts week 1.
Yeah, I have the Texans as well. Richardson, is he all the way back? Like, what's the story on him?
I thought he was out for the year.
Oh, he's out for the damn.
Talking about the quarterback for the Colts?
Yeah.
I thought he was out for the year. Am I thinking about somebody else?
I know he got injured last year, and that took him out for the year. I thought, you know, with modern technology, I thought he was able to rehab.
Anthony Richardson. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about somebody else. He's playing this year.
Yeah, so, you know, it's probably going to take a little bit to work the rest off. So I got C.J. Stroud and the boys going in there. Stephon Diggs is on Texans now. So that should be a good combo.
The Jacksonville Jaguars, Tony Khan squad, travels to Miami to take on the Dolphins.
There goes the tie-in. Man, that's gonna be interesting one to pick. Jacksonville kind of had like a down season compared to the one before that, where they were on that tear and made the playoffs. I don't think they bounce back with this one. Tony Khan's still gonna be hungover from, you know,
All
skiing from the night before. So
if you know, you know. That was
go with
good.
the Dolphins on this one.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins also. That was good, EJ. You fucked me over with that one. The Carolina Panthers travel to New Orleans. A lot of people's picked to win the NFC South this year. The New Orleans Saints.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They like Derek Carr that much? Huh. I picked the Falcons over the Saints, even though they do have my boy Spencer Rattler. He's going to be waiting in the wings because you know Carr's going to fuck up. This is like the I don't give a fuck about game. I guess I'll go with the Saints. Like, you know, it's a division game, but I still don't care. I'll go with the Saints.
I'll also go with the Saints. And coming up next is even a bigger I don't give a fuck about this game. The Minnesota Vikings travel to East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on the New York Giants. Give me the Vikings.
Yeah, I'll go with them. Yeah, who is the Vikings quarterback now? They don't have Cousins.
Does it even matter?
I think they got the Michigan kid. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He won the national championship, but he's not winning this game. I mean, he is winning this game actually, because I'm picking the Vikings. Daniel Jones, like, I'm surprised that experiment isn't over. Like, he's not good. But like, didn't they pay him a lot too?
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, JJ McCarthy is the. I don't know if he's starting though, but they drafted him. But as far as Daniel Jones goes, I know they paid him a bunch, so I guess they're just riding that wave since they got to pay him.
New York Giants are hoping that the Cowboys don't sign Dak Prescott
Why are they hoping that?
because they got enough money to pay him.
You think? Oh, you think they wanna get Dak?
I think the Raiders and the Giants and maybe even the Vikings are the three teams that are looking at Dak like, please don't sign with the Cowboys.
I mean, that'd be a big fuck you by Dak. Like, Jerry Jones talking that shit, I'm gonna go sign with a division rival and go with the Giants.
Could you imagine he went to Washington? Ugh.
I mean, I think they're banking on the LSU kid being something.
That's all cool and well, but when you can get a fucking all-pro quarterback. But yeah, I think New York Giants, the Raiders, and who's the other team I named? Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're all hoping that Jerry Jones shits the bed on this one.
Yeah.
First 405 window, the Vegas Raiders travel to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers with Justin Herbert.
And the returning Harbaugh. So it's going to be interesting to see how he adapts back to NFL. Jim Harbaugh. He had that success with the 49ers.
The only other NFL team I've ever had merch from, besides the Kansas City Chiefs when I was a kid, the Dallas Cowboys,
Raiders,
are the fucking Raiders. And I think the Raiders win this game. They start out 1-0.
That's because it was the cool, like, hip-hop type of clothing with the red, all black, silver.
Yeah.
Who's the Raiders quarterback?
I don't think it matters. They're in Las Vegas. Always bet on black.
I'm not picking that dumpster fire of an organization. I'm going with the Chargers on this one.
The Denver Broncos travel to Seattle. Russell Wilson Bowl. Even though he plays for Pittsburgh now.
Who's Denver's quarterback? Like, I'm like all miscombobulated. There's a lot of off-season things that happen. Like, does Denver even have a quarterback? I don't know if you have that.
I don't know who their quarterback is, but they travel to Seattle to take on the Seahawks, and I got the Seahawks.
Yeah, I got the Seahawks too. Like,
America's team, the Cowboys of Dallas, travel to Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Browns, who may have the best defense in the NFL, at 4:25 Eastern Time at Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Give me the Dallas Cowboys to win.
and for those who listened to our picks last year, I'm not as biased as Rucker is, so
Wow.
I pick against the Cowboys
rude.
when they give me a reason to pick against them. But this ain't that part of the year, so I'm going Cowboys against Deshaun Cosby and the Cleveland Browns.
The Commanders of Washington travel to Tampa Bay to take on Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
It's be interesting. This Jaden Daniels kid might be the best quarterback in the draft.
He just said he
Depending on what
might be that nigga.
Depending on what happens with Williams up there in Chicago, like, the kid could play, but rookies always go through, the growing pains and whatnot. So I'm gonna go with the fighting Baker Mayfield. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay.
I'll also go with Tampa Bay. Just because I can't bring myself to cheer or to pick the Commanders to win a game. I might pick them 17 times to lose this year.
I mean, but as far as division rivalries with the Cowboys, like the Commanders are like a little ant on the bottom of my boot. Like, when's the last time the Commanders had anything? Those goddamn Eagles, though, fuck them.
Sunday Night Football, the Los Angeles Rams travel to Detroit to take on a lot of people's pick to be the number 1 seed in NFC this year, the Detroit Lions. Give me Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams.
This is the Matthew Stafford Bowl. I'm going up against his old team. Like, I wonder what's the temperature out there. Are the Rams, is that LA's team? Do people really care about the Chargers? They just won a Super Bowl, 3 seasons ago?
Well, they're in Detroit, so it doesn't matter.
What's that?
They're in Detroit, so it doesn't matter.
That was just almost like a side thought. But I feel like they basically just bet it all just to win that Super Bowl, and they're just kind of just chilling. So I'm going to go with the Lions on this one.
For the second year in a row, the New York Jets are on Monday Night Football with Aaron Rodgers leading their team out in an underdog fashion against the San Francisco 49ers at Levi Stadium. Last year it didn't work out for him. He tore his Achilles. EJ, does Aaron Rodgers make it through the entire game? And who wins?
He does. And he's going against his, I think he grew up in the Bay Area, and he was mad that his hometown team didn't draft him back in the day.
Didn't want him either when he was a free agent.
Yeah. And I think he's going to be left crying. I still don't think he gets the win. I mean, it's weird, man, because remember all those years Aaron Rodgers was the cock of the walk, and he was the best quarterback in the league. I feel like his downward trajectory just kind of just fell off a cliff, because Tom Brady, he was basically at the top of his game until his last season, and Aaron Rodgers kind of just fell off a little bit, I guess.
Aaron Rodgers only has one more Super Bowl than Dak Prescott. Yeah,
and the Achilles didn't help, but you don't hear him in the talks with the Mahomes, and I know you're not an Allen fan. I'm not either, but people put Allen up there and the Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. You don't hear Rodgers in that talk anymore. But yeah, he's still gonna lose, I think. I'm going with the 49ers.
I got the Jets.
Jets, Jets. And
I think San Francisco's ripe for a down year.
I mean, that's what you're hoping. I don't know if that happens, but they just paid.
I am hoping that, but I think the way the NFL goes and the way football goes, you can only be on top, quote unquote, for so long without actually winning before you hit disaster. And I think this is a disaster year for San Francisco.
It may be, but I just don't think it happens in this particular game. So, and Ayuk, he just got his bag, so hey, shout out to him for getting his paper.
Well, that's it for the show, EJ. You got anything you want to say for the people?
Nah. Once again, it's that time of the year, football. So, yeah, I'm gonna be making these picks all year, and we'll see who's on top at the end of this year. But shout out to everybody out there supporting us. Make sure to follow us on everything social media, YouTube, X, Facebook, all that good stuff, TikTok. Yes, sir. So, salute to everybody out there.
For EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face. I hope whoever your team is wins, unless they're Cleveland Brown. Until next time, this has been Boot to the Face. Peace!